Greetings, everyone. It's the New York Thrifter here. I am back. I did take a little bit of time off. My family had a bit of a setback. I don't talk about my family a lot on this channel, but we are in the middle of adopting. And after the little guy was born, his birth mother decided that she was going to parent, which means we are going to start the process over again. And so hopefully shortly I will be able to introduce you to my new little person, whoever that might be. But in the meantime, I've been keeping really busy. I've had lots of family around, sisters and cousins and in-laws, and that's been really great. I also went to the spa a lot, got my nails done, as you can see, dyed my hair blonde. So, just a little bit of a change up for me. We've been going on a ton of summer vacations, which on Instagram I try to show a bit about that. But everything is okay. My family is healthy and good, and adoption is absolutely worth it, even when you have a setback. I have my son, my 6-year-old, who joined our family through adoption, and he is absolutely the best thing that's ever happened. So we'll just wait on that exactly right new person to come into our life, and I will absolutely let you know when that happens. But meanwhile, I do want to do a haul because I was doing some shopping and got some amazing clothes that I want to share for everyone who comes here for the thrifting aspect of the channel. So I'm going to start out with some shoes, or I should say boots more appropriately. I generally don't do a lot of shoes or boots. I don't like cleaning them. I don't like shipping them, and they're pretty expensive in my area. Now these were marked originally for $14.99, and these are Paul Green boots. And they're real leather. They were obviously quality, and so I looked them up, and sure enough, these boots go between $30 and $40. And going into the fall and eventually winter months, I figured this would be a pretty good pickup. And so I grabbed those. Now, when I was doing research on these, I saw that the Paul Green boots that had peep toes did a lot better than the closed toes one. So if you do come across a peep toe one, you might want to pay up for those, because those can go up in the $100 plus range. So just FYI on that. Next up, I'm going to go through some dresses. This dress is a Free People, and as you can see, that tag's a little bit different than the newer tags. This is a size 4. It is a boho dress. It is very long, so this is a maxi style. It used to, at one time, I believe, have some spaghetti straps that were detachable. They have been detached and are no longer there. But I got this for $4, and I thought I can definitely sell it even as a strapless. I'm probably going to put about $30 on this and take a best offer. Next up, we have a Madewell dress. Madewell is a division, or a sister company, I should say, of J. Crew. Madewell tends to do a little bit better online, at least in my experience. So a $4 dress. It is kind of a simple design in a red color, and I plan on putting this up for about probably $40, but taking a best offer. Now on these Madewell dresses, they really, you're gonna hear people say they're all over the place, because some pieces will sell for $20 and some pieces will sell for $50. Now, just to get a good idea of the whys of that is, first of all, if it's a very desired piece, maybe they sold out in the stores and people are looking for it to either replace theirs, or maybe they have a friend that had it, or they heard a lot about it, saw it on Pinterest, and they're looking for it. And if it's a desirable piece, then people definitely will pay up for it, pay upwards of, $40 or $50. Now, if it is a piece that has lots of decoration on it, lots of maybe stripes and patterns, critters on it, like little, foxes or dogs or something like that, again, those are the more desirable dresses, so those generally will go for more money. The plain ones like this one, especially if it's not wool, will tend to go for less money. However, I do suggest you don't put dresses like this up for auction. And the reason for that is a lot of the dresses that sold for around the $20 mark in this brand, they were put up for auction and they only got a few bids. And so I suggest pricing it a little bit high and then putting best offer on it. And that way people can, make you an offer that you can decide whether or not it's worth it to you, but you're not necessarily going to let a dress like that go for, $19 because only one person happened to bid. Okay, this is what they consider a rockabilly dress. This is by the company Hell Bunny, and it's an extra large, great size. And rockabilly just means that it's kind of retro. People are looking to, they either wear rockabilly in their everyday lives, or they go to, conventions where it is worn, like Viva Las Vegas, and it's just a retro style, so it looks like it might be from the 40s or 50s. And this one I particularly liked because it has a bunch of kind of tattoo iconography on it. It's got like an anchor and hearts and little birds like that. And so again, having a really cool print on it can definitely make it worth more money. It also has a little tool on the bottom to kind of floof it out a little bit. So this Hell Bunny dress, most of these you're going to get maybe, $20 for, but I'm probably going to list this at $30 with best offer just because it has that great design. Now with these dresses, I have been spending between $4 and $5 on them. And so I really am focused on being able to list for over $20. If I list anything for under $20, it might not be worth my my investment. This piece I did pay up for a little bit. This is a J. Crew new with tags special occasion dress. It was half off, so I got this for $6.50. And this is called a swan dress from J. Crew. It's funny, it was originally sold at Unique. I did not buy it at Unique. I bought it at the Goodwill, so it's been through the ringer. But this is a very bright purple tulip dress is what they call it, new with tags. I looked online and there's one listed right now for $60, new with tags, and one sold a few months ago for $39. So I'm probably going to mark it at around $45, taking best offers. Here is another piece that I paid up for. So this was half off, $12.99, so again $6.50. This is an Eileen Fisher size 2 silk black dress, and it's got a lot of ruffles on it. It goes just to the knee, and it's just a very wearable shift dress. And so this would be really great for, a night on the town, or just if you want to dress up a bit. Eileen dresses do very well. Again, it's one of those, they're all over the place. They go from $35 to $70. A lot of the change in that has to do whether you put it on auction or not. I'm not going to put it on auction and probably mark it around $60 with best offer. Here's another new with tags. This time I have a Michael Kors. This is a 2X plus size. Michael Kors does very well for me. Sizes small through large generally don't. Now this had a price of $130 on it. If you were to buy it at Marshall's, it would have been $70. I picked it up for $5. It's got a chain closure right at the neckline and kind of an X pattern on it. It goes just below the knee, and it does have longer sleeves. Now I am starting to look for things with longer sleeves just because people are going to start getting, fall and winter clothing. So this piece I am going to put online for about $35 or best offer, new with tags. This is a beautiful piece. This is a Vineyard Vines. I believe this is Vineyard Vines you're mostly going to find here on the East Coast just because it is, kind of a Martha's Vineyard type place. This is a size 12. I love that. It is in beautiful shape. It's got lots of kind of a nautical color scheme, and it is a strapless. I looked on eBay, and it turns out that this exact dress in a smaller size sold 3 days ago for $39.99. And so that is a pretty great return on $5. And for the last dress I'm going to show you, this is a really special brand to me. This is called For Love and Lemons, and it's definitely a brand that caters to kind of a younger crowd. As you can see with this, it's a very short skirt, kind of a skater skirt, and there's lots of sheerness about this. This is the back, which is entirely sheer, and then the front has this neckline that plunges and goes and is sheer. So this is definitely for a bit of the younger crowd. Now, the reason why I love For Love and Lemons so much is because the first time I found a piece by this company, I sold it on eBay, and I sold it for full price at about $70 for a used piece. It took about 3 minutes, and afterwards I had people sending messages to my eBay account. Do you have any more? I'd be willing to pay up. You know, how could I get it? And so it was probably one of my fastest sales, and a really big one, obviously, at $70. So I'm probably going to list this around the same, maybe start it at 80, just to see if anybody out there is looking for this particular piece. But if you do find For Love or Lemons, and then it's got the antlers here, you know that you found a winner. Okay, so next let's go on to tops. I got a lot of tops. The tops I will spend usually around $2.50 to $3 a piece. This is a Faye piece. It is a silk wrap top with a great bright vibrant print. It is a wraparound, and this is an Anthropologie brand. Not all Anthropologie brands are created equal. Some do better than others. Faye is not necessarily what I would consider one of their top brands, but I think I got this for $2, and I'll probably be able to list it for around $18 with best offer. This next piece is a great plus size brand. This is probably my favorite plus size brand. That would be Torrid. And Torrid is a mall brand, but people really, really like the style of them, so they're willing to pay really good money to buy pieces. This is just a sheer tank top, but the reason why I loved it is it's got these sugar skulls on it, and skulls at Torrid tend to do very well. So I'm going to be listing this at $20. This next piece you're probably familiar with, but only with jeans. This is a Not Your Daughter's Jeans NYDJ brand, size small. And it has long sleeves to it with a very vibrant pattern. This is a blouse, and so they do make more than just jeans. Obviously their jeans will do better, but I can list this for $20 and see about a best offer. I did find Lululemon on this trip. The pull tag is gone, but I recognized the design on here. I should have the brand on the, oh, right here on the back. And this is a Swiftly tee, there you go, Swiftly tee. And it should be listed for probably around $25 and hopefully sell quickly. It's a really bright color. Here's another J. Crew. You're going to be seeing a lot of J. Crew. I consider it one of my most, easy pickup, easy to list. Now, whenever you have J. Crew, you can go right onto the tag and get the style number. So the style number for this is F4398, which means I looked this up very quickly, found out that it was named the structured peplum top, And these often sell for $20, so that's what I'm going to put it up at. This next pickup was a definite mistake. And let me tell you what I did. Well, first of all, this was half off, so it was, less than $3. Robert Rodriguez is a famous designer, and he made this for Neiman Marcus. So without looking it up, I figured, hey, it has to be worth something. And it's also made out of just a very, very beautiful material, very thick with a great ruffle going down the front. So I thought, hey, I can't lose. Well, guess what? You absolutely can lose even with designers, because it turns out there are a lot of these listed online, none of them going for more than about $14. And as I looked around, I found some flaws on it, including a little stain right here and a cut. I guess that's not a cut, but it's certainly not great. Little bit of wear there. So I'm probably going to end up redonating this and just chalk it up to, hey, these things happen. Okay, this next up is a Free People, and this is a tag you're probably a little more familiar with, that bronze bar. This is a large sheer top, and it is in black. It's got some lace details there, peplum on the bottom, and it also has bell sleeves. Let me show you those. So these bell sleeves, overly large sleeves that are still very popular. A lot of Free People I don't necessarily purchase anymore, just because the price for these has been going down, but that will probably fetch around $25, so it was worth it to me. I have two tops by the same company. Let me show you. And they're both small. One's a small petite, the other's small. This is Equipment Femme. I talk about this brand a lot because it is quite popular around where I live. These are made out of silk. They're quite beautiful. They fetch a pretty good return of the printed ones of about $30 to $40. So this one has a great paisley on it. This other one has more of a stripe design. And so I did pick both of these up. I believe I paid a little bit more for these. I think I paid $5 a piece for those. But for, possibly $40 return, I figured it was worth it. This next one is a strapless kind of bustier with a tie around it. It is Porridge. Porridge is an Anthropologie brand. Again, not one of their most popular brands. And so I'm probably going to take this over to Posh, where it does a little bit better, and see if I can get about $20 for it. This is a new to me brand, and it is French. And this is, I'm probably not going to pronounce it right, but Cacharel. And this is a silk top, and it's got the coolest print on it. These are like old-fashioned people, playing cards and going to parties. And I think she's in her bathtub right there. So I really liked it. I looked up the brand, and it turns out that it does very well, especially internationally. Apparently, in Europe, this is a pretty popular brand. You've got people dancing there. I am going to be listing this for very high. I'm probably going to list it for about $40. It is a $2.50 I have into it, but it looks like I'll be able to, hopefully, if I wait for the right buyer, get a great return out of it. Show Me Your Muumuu is very popular with the youngest set, the festival goers, the late teens, early 20s that want to wear something really bold and stylish. This is a sheer crop top off the shoulder with long sleeves. Obviously incredibly vibrant print on that. And Show Me Your Muumuu does a lot better in dresses. If you find a dress, you can get upwards of $100 for it in resale. Since this is a top, it's probably only going to be about $30, but again, $4 into it is a pretty great return. Another Anthropologie brand I have here is going to be Meadow Roo. This is a small top. It's got both paisley as well as stripes on it. These are being sold pretty frequently on both eBay and Posh for around $20 or $25. Got that for $3. This is a very common piece that a lot of people will find. It's Chico's. It's not the Traveler brand, but it has the same feel to it, a polyester that won't get wrinkled. It's got a tie around the base and long sleeves. Picked it up for $3, and it looks like I can list it for around $20, but put best offer on it. This is a Lucky brand Western style top with pearl buttons. So the Western style, you can see how it has this. It's got that design on it. Here's the back. You might even be able to get away with putting jacket in the listing because it is a thicker material. This is new with tags. Originally sold for around $80 at their store. Here's kind of those pearl buttons, and those are very sought after. So that's a great thing to have. I bought this, I paid up at around $6 for it, and it looks like I can list this for about $35. Another Anthropologie brand, Maeve, and this is just a small summer shirt that has mopeds on it, so a great print for this. And it looks like this can be listed for around $20, $25. This is great. Speaking of new with tags, this is a new with tags Levi's men's jacket, size large. Just a great jean jacket, ready for fall. It can be worn with anything. Because that is new with tags, it looks like I'm probably going to be listing it for about $60. I probably won't put best offer on it, but if it doesn't sell within like maybe the first couple of weeks, I might either put best offer or put it on like, 10% sale. Here, I want to show you, I've got 3 separate sweaters. These are all from J. Crew. So for these 3 sweaters, I just wanted to show you the difference in prices and why it's so important to look up J. Crew style number. So this first one we have is a Claire cardigan in a size large. And it is just, a dark blue cardigan with small buttons and 3/4 sleeve. The second one we have is a small J. Crew wool striped shirt. And the third one that we have is a J. Crew collection cashmere. Now, and it's got stripes on it. I did end up spending the same amount on each of these pieces. So each of these cost $4. Now, the Claire cardigan I actually got for me, so I am going to be keeping this. I love wearing J. Crew. They're my favorite. And paying $4 is definitely better than paying around $40 at the factory store, the outlet store. If I was to sell this, it goes between $15 and $20. Now for the striped wool sweater, the same thing. I am going to end up selling this. I'm probably going to be listing it for $20, taking a best offer. So these go between $15 and $20. Now, the J. Crew collection, and let me show you that one more time. The collection is going to have a black tag that says J. Crew with collection right on the bottom. Now, because this is cashmere, you probably already guessed that this is going to be worth more than the other ones. And because it is collection, this is a much sought after type of J. Crew. So when I looked this up, I found that I can list this, believe it or not, for around $70. So if somebody was just to grab these two and say, hey, they're both made out of wool, I'm just going to list them for $15, you would have really lost out on the J. Crew collection and getting your money's worth for this one. So that's why I always suggest to do some research. You don't want to do so much research that you're actually not listing, but sometimes it can be worth it to really know what you have. Okay, another Free People top, new with tags. This was $88 originally. It is a tank with lots of lace detailing here at the top. I am going to be listing this for about $35. That new with tags really got me. This is a men's winter shirt, and it is a Bergens of Norway. And this is a sports wool crew tank. They've got their brand right here. And this does really well. I'm going to be listing this for about $35, hopefully getting about $30 on best offer. And I only bought it for $3. And just to, start getting ready for those winter customers, I think it is a great start. Now, I only got 2 bottoms today. I wasn't really looking at bottoms. I've got a huge backlist of jeans that I don't have listed. They tend to be a little harder for me to list just because I have to do flat lay, whereas tops and dresses, I usually just put on a hanger. So it tends to be a lot easier for me. I did end up getting this Free People skirt. As I told you, I don't get a lot of Free People, and then I pull out like 5 Free People outfits, but this was just so cute. This was actually in the children's section, so I got it for $1. It is small or extra small, but it's got the tulle on the bottom. It is made for a woman, even though it was in the children's section, and it looks like this is pretty sought after, this design, so I'm going to put it up for $30. And then I also got J. Crew. These are cotton chinos, size 16. I got these for $2.50, and they are new with tags. And so that is really great. I'm going to be able to list these for $20. So that's kind of all the usual suspects, I would say. And I do have a few more pieces. Like I said, I picked up some designer pieces that I'm very excited about. I always like to share my designer pieces with you, just because if you are going through the racks and you stumble upon one of these labels, you really know what you have. So you've probably heard of these brands before, but I want to get you familiar with the tags. I'm very lucky to live near New York City, where people spend a lot of money on their clothes, and when they're done with them, have no problem taking them to the local thrift store and just donating them. And so with a lot of these, I think with all of them actually, they were out on the floor. They were not new on roller racks. These had been out on the floor hanging up. People had gone through and just not grabbed them. And when I saw them, I knew what they were. For a lot of these, I think I did pay full price for. So that means the dresses you're probably going to see were about $9 or $10, whereas the shirts were $5 or $6. So I did pay full price, if you want to say that, even though it's, some really great deals. This is an Alice and Olivia. I find this brand quite a lot in my area. It is popular. I believe we have their flagship store right by the library there in New York City. And so it is really great. This is a mini skirt dress. I was charged $5 for it because the person thought it was so short that it should be a shirt. I did not disagree. And Alice and Olivia, I can probably list this without a problem for around $50. So a great return on that. I always pronounce this brand wrong, so excuse me. I believe I used to say Machino, but somebody said you have to put a K in it, so it's Makino. Anyway, I'm sure somebody will in the remarks let me know how to pronounce this. But this is a t-shirt, and Makino has been doing t-shirts lately, and I love the text that they have on them. Some of them are like, this is just a t-shirt, which I just thought was really funny, especially because it goes for hundreds of dollars. This one has a woman crossing her arms with jewelry on it. And then, of course, as your head comes through the opening, it looks like you're wearing this outfit. There is not a huge return on this, but I did want to show you the brand. I purchased it for $5. I'm probably going to list it for $35 without best offer to see if I can sell it. But I don't know. It's designer, and I like it. This is a Dolce & Gabbana made in Italy. This is a sheer, very small top with a little bit of crocheting details. It doesn't look like a whole lot, but this is probably going to go for about $4 just because of that name on it. And then if you follow me on Instagram, you will have already seen these dresses. I went thrifting and found 4 Diane Von Furstenbergs, not all together, and they are in different sizes, which means different people donated these probably at different times. And like I said, they were all throughout the store. So, you know, people had been going through the racks and just didn't grab these. Here's the first one. That's the label right there. This is a size 2. Pretty plain. It's just a deep blue with some tassel ties on it dress. This one I absolutely love. It's got a very structured bodice here, and then it's got some metallic lace on the bottom, very short. And again, this is your label with a size 6. It's absolutely beautiful for going out. This is really fun because it's an odd color animal print. And so I'll show you that. This one's a size 8. And you've got that turquoise animal print in a very short skirt. And this is an empire waistline because they drew the waistline up. And so it does give a really nice shape to women. And then this one I got, now you're going to see this is a little torn up. You can still recognize it as a Diane, but it's, you know, obviously wasn't taken nobody took incredible care of it. And then also when they put the tag through it, you have a small hole right there. However, I did grab it, and the reason for that is hopefully not today, but soon I will be able to fit into it. And I've always wanted a Diane. I don't go for a lot of the extravagant prints, so it being a solid color really appealed to me. And this is one of her signature wrap dresses, and so this wraps right around the waist. Diane did invent the wrap dress back in, I want to say the 70s, but I could be wrong about that. And so in general, when you find a wrap dress, it usually will be worth more money because they are her signature pieces. I am not going to be selling this one though. I'm going to be keeping that one in my closet. For Diane dresses, it's nothing for them to go upwards of $70 or $100 online. If you want to make for a faster sale, you could always list it for less. But probably what I'll do is, especially with the fancy one with the metallic on it, I will list it rather high, see if I have any bidders, and if not, I will, not bidders, I'm sorry, any offers, and if not, I will just go from there. Now I'm going to end up on an incredibly high note. This is Galliano. Galliano is a major designer, very, very famous. This was, I actually did get this one on half off, so I paid $5 for it. And it doesn't look like a whole lot. Like if it didn't have the Galliano tag, I probably wouldn't have given this one a second look because it is a little bit, you know, wrinkly, although the fabric really is gorgeous. When you feel it, it's a silk and it's just beautiful. So I wanted to authenticate that this was a Galliano, and I did, so I pulled out all the tricks that I have. The first thing that I noticed are even on the straps. This is where you would hang it up on a hanger. It has the Galliano name. If you were going to be faking this, you probably wouldn't go through the trouble of doing that. Another thing is it does have here, like a little bit of a detail here, and so that's again one of those details that you might not see if it was knockoff. And then finally, and this is one of the best ways to make sure that you have a real designer piece, is this is the hologram. So you can see you've got all the information here about it being made in Italy, and then you do have that hologram saying this is authentic. And so I do believe this is a real Galliano. I'm going to be taking this to the dry cleaners and making it look amazing and hopefully almost new if possible. And at the end of the day, it looks like between $100 or $120 for a piece like this. Not bad for a $5 investment. I love buying clothes. I love finding new designers that I've never found before. And so I am very excited about this piece. So thank you once again for following me, even though I haven't been online a lot during the last month. I really appreciate all of my watchers. I love hearing from everyone. If you want to check back into this channel, I do plan on having more videos shortly. I am taking a trip this weekend. I believe I'm going, what did my husband say? South America, maybe? He's been very reticent on giving me details. So he likes to surprise me with crazy trips. So when I get back, I will make sure to let everyone know on Instagram where we ended up going. And I am New York Thrifter. You can find me at New York Thrifter on Instagram. And thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you soon.